What's going on, everybody? Gabriel here, and today I'm actually going to be putting in work on the BRZ, or actually I should say I have been putting in work for the BRZ. Yeah, like actually for the past few hours I've actually been doing a few things to the BRZ. So as some of you guys know, we went ahead and installed the coilovers, and I made that wheel hella sunk. So if you see here, it's very in by a lot. So I went ahead and picked up some spacers. Now these are slip-on spacers, hub-centric, so they should be just fine. These are by Muteki, I believe. Oh, these are 15 mil spacers. I thought they were 20 for some reason. So they're 15. So it's not going to be like a huge, like, 30 millimeter or 25, whatever. These are 15, and to install them, went ahead and bought some ARP studs. Shout out to Atlanta Speed Co. Kevin Kett hooked me up. Literally next day shipping. I ordered like around 2 or something, or 1 p.m. and he got them to me super early. So that's awesome. Now you see this big old mess. This is what they're gonna be looking like here. These are the 2.5 studs as opposed to the OEM shorties. So it's quite a big difference. So I'd say that's a good ½ inch difference, maybe 3/4 of an inch bigger. So that's awesome. We're in the garage today, and that's not the only thing, but that's so yeah, like that's not the only thing I'm working on today. I was gonna install some rear adjustable sway bar links, but I ended up not liking them, so I put one on, I took it off, and that's that. So let's fit the wheel up. Let's see what it looks like, because I want to see what it looks like compared to the to what I have right now. So give me 1 second. So this is what that side looks like, and this is just in the air. So, and that's what that side looked like. So it's still pretty sunk, but looks a lot better if we're being honest. Just gives it that extra little, just gives it that extra. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks good. ARP studs are stronger than OEMs, so that's good too. And then yeah, so there's that. So aside from just installing spacers and studs, I'm also doing the parking shoes and new rotors in the rear, because show you here. So if you see this brake shoe here, this parking shoe, you know, it's got some cracks in it and everything, and I mean, you really don't use your parking shoe. Then I looked inside the rotor, and you can't tell, but there's heat spots in here, and basically like I have heat spots in my rotors, like in the brake shoe, the parking shoe. I'll lift the parking brake up, and then like it'll just kind of sound like it's like moving. It's weird. So I went ahead and changed the rotors and the brake shoes, and because their drums are like really difficult, I'm not a fan. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then kind of show you guys what that looks like. It's not fun, to be honest, and I really hate it. So we'll see. So one of the reasons we're changing out the brake shoes, I don't know if you can tell, but like these are unevenly worn, and then there's heat spots in here. These rotors were used. They're StopTech blank used rotors. So I'm guessing the guy used to drift on them, but I didn't really pay attention when I put them on, and they seemed to measure out fine. I actually didn't measure the inner, I just measured the outer part. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just keep them as backups. Basically, I'm removing the whole parking shoes assembly, like all these springs. Like, it sucks. I'm not even gonna front. Like, this really sucks to do. But it's actually not too bad. So basically, you're just gonna remove these springs. This one. This you push in and twist. Push in and twist. This you just pull that out, or actually you can, once these are off, like, these will come down. So this one's super easy. And then yeah, they're easy to remove. It just kind of sucks. You got to kind of remember where they're coming from, like where they're at, just so you can put them back the right way. Then you gotta also, so because we're removing the hub to put in the lug nuts, which, I mean, I took the other one off. It's just easier. There's 4 bolts on the back and this thing pops out, but you do have to remove the axle. It's a 30 millimeter 32 millimeter axle nut. So yeah, I'm gonna charge up my impact, so then that way I have enough power. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove all this, and yeah. Also, it's also good that we're just in here right now, because I just realized this coilover, this locking ring isn't locked, so I gotta tighten that up. I was hearing this weird noise that I thought was a coilover, so it's kind of good that I found this, because this was probably what I was thinking about in terms of the noise. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and take this out. So yeah, basically I just take these pliers and I pulled this one off. So that's that one, and then same thing for this. You can literally just grab, like, because these are angled, so then you just grab it here, pull it off and over, and then boom, that comes off. This one as well. And then these are super easy. You literally just push down, grab, twist, and it pops out. And then the pin, this pin comes out from the back. Ta-da. And then same thing here. As you can see, the whole shoe assembly comes out, and then comes off, and then you just gotta pull this out. There we go. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take these 4 bolts out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 with some, I think these are 14s. Yeah, they're 14s, which I have one right here. And you literally just take them out. Once those are at least loose, then you can kind of like knock that out. I have impact, so I can do it that way. Otherwise, you can pull up the e-brake and then use a big breaker bar with some leverage, but I'll just rather do it my way. All right, let's hope this works. It worked last time, so. Let's try to knock out that little pin there. See if that's the problem. Okay, so while we wait for the impact battery to charge, I wanted to show something. So I'm filming on my GoPro and filming on my G7X. So sorry for the different camera qualities, but you know, I'm a one-man show. Anyway, with that being said, so here's the brake shoe. Now this parking shoe, sorry, I keep saying brake shoe, but whatever, same thing. This parking shoe here, now this thing is a pain in the ass to take off. Now if you notice, these are the Brake Best Select. These are some O'Reilly ones. I think they're like $21. I get a really good discount on parts. Each rotor for me was 30 bucks, less than $30, and the brake shoes were like 10. for reasons, but yeah, anyway, so as you can see, the brake shoes that we got here, they don't have this here, which would help out immensely, but because they don't, we have to transfer this over to this. Now you might be thinking it's pretty easy, just remove this horseshoe clip and then this thing comes out. That's literally just the concept, but this horseshoe clip is super hard to take out. Now after so much, like, it literally took me like an hour to take that out, I kind of figured out something that I should have looked up earlier. Now, because I got lost on how the brake shoes went, like the whole setup, like how they were supposed to go, I ended up looking up the BRZ FRS manual and seeing that basically you have to open this up. Like, they make you open it. They tell you open the clip, then pull it off, and then you're able to put it back on the new one and then close it. So I'm gonna try to do that. I can't do it with one hand, unfortunately. I don't have a head cam or anything like that. So I'm gonna basically, that's literally the gist. You take this out, like, you open this horseshoe clip, open it, this pin falls out, you just transfer it over to the new one, and then you're good to go. Alright, so I guess while I wait for the battery to charge, so I already did the brake shoe part. I cleaned up this a bit and I sprayed some WD-40, but let's knock out the studs now. I know a lot of people are going to be really against about what I'm going to do is basically just knock the stud out. A lot of people are going to say you're going to mess up the wheel bearing. It's fine to me. It hasn't failed me. You're not putting a lot of force if you just hit the stud directly. Now, if you're over here smashing over here, like if you hit and you smash over here, then yeah, of course you're gonna have a wheel bearing failure. I just feel like because all the motion is being put into here, it's actually backing out, and it's just supposed to be that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out with the big mallet. I'm gonna knock it out with the big effing hammer, right? So it's just literally like, can't wait to read the comments on that one and see how much people hate what I just did. These are super crusty. Why? I don't know, but they're like rusty almost. So yeah, I'm gonna show you why I can't install the new ones without taking the hub out just a little bit. So you'll see here, these are too long. This might work actually. This might work. Like this, there's a ridge right here that could have been the one to be able to come in, but it's just not happening. Like, it just needs just a little bit. Like just a little bit. You could probably just pull this out a little bit and then get it, but like I said, you got to remove the nut anyway to just bring it out just a little bit. So there's no point. I'm gonna see if the battery's charged enough. I'm gonna try it again right now. So just spray a little bit more WD-40 and some PB Blaster just because. Let's hope that did some magic. All right, so I wasn't able to get the nut off here, but I was able to kind of like pull the hub out just slightly enough that I think it's gonna be able to work. So I pushed the dust shield back, pulled this out, and then back to that little ridge that I was saying back here earlier, literally just slides in, boom. So we don't really need to go ahead and take the nut off. You can basically just unbolt the nuts and then kind of pull it forward just slightly enough that you can take that out, but you do have to remove the brake shoes in order to do that, so you know, just beware. So yeah, so all right, so to install this, we're basically going to use a tool. It's a Lyle wheel stud remover. I can't remember the part number, but this here is the right part. This thing is awesome. So basically you just put the stud on, you put this thing there, and then you get an open-ended lug nut. Sit it on there, and then just bolt it down. The Chinese batteries broke. Still works. So this nut size right here, this is a 21. So you're just gonna go ahead and literally just make sure it's kind of centered. Done. And boom, there you go. Your lug is installed. And then we just gotta do that for the rest of them. So yeah, that was pretty dope. I'm gonna go ahead and just push it back in, bolt it up, and I'll show you how to reinstall the shoes and some tips that some tips that I was looking up that I didn't really find, but I'll basically show you how to do it. Assembly is actually pretty easy. I'm gonna clean up these parts real quick. Okay, so as I was saying, so assembly for the brake shoes was actually pretty difficult for me at first because I kind of forgot where things went. So now, pretty much just gotta put on what we came to do. Also, when it comes to these, I'm really weird and I like them to just work the way they're supposed to. Brake clean this. Okay. Spacer. Glove, and then put this wheel on. There we are. And there she go. Now I ordered some Muteki SR48s, but it's looking like these might be able to still work, which would be great because I don't really want to use the Mutekis. So if the OEM ones work, then it works for me, but let me try it out. They're too short. So yeah, we'll have to use the Mutekis because these are the bulge on the end it hits the end of it, and I see it here. Yeah, so I'll have to use the Mutekis. It's all right, I guess. So I had these on the last set of track wheels. Now they're gonna look a little ricey. Now that I think about it. Dang, I don't really want that. That's fine. Yeah, they're gonna look a little weird because they're long. Maybe I'll find some replacements for these. I'm not a fan of them sticking out so much like that. Without the spacer, probably would have been fine, but there's a spacer, so. With the It just look like I'm trying really hard to be custom. Ugh, not a fan. Yeah, this thing got way too much. No, I'm not a fan. Huh. Okay, well, I mean, it's on. Spacer's on. Looks okay, I guess. We'll drop the car and then we'll see what it looks like. And good morning, everybody. So it's the next day. And yesterday I got super late. I started working on the car like around 1 and I didn't finish until 10:30. And there's still a lot that I have to do today, which is gonna be in another video. This is the end of that video where I installed the lug studs. So here it is, the car with the spacers on. So it came out just a bit. It doesn't look too sunk. The rear rotors are in, everything's working fine. And yeah, I mean, it was quite challenging on this side, as you guys saw, with the axle nut not coming off, but we were able to pull it out a little bit and all that. So I like the way it looks. I'm not a fan of the lug studs, if we're being honest, but those are for future use when I do get wheels. Here's this side. Car's super dirty. It's about to get washed right now. But yeah, I mean, the spacers make it look good. It rides great. It has no vibrations, so it's actually like rides really good. I'm not a fan of the lug studs. I'll probably find some open-ended shorter ones just because I'm really picky like that. Like it looks like I'm trying really hard to modify my car, and I like to make my cars look basically as stock as possible. Too bad I couldn't use the stock lug nuts. They were just a little too short. Because the bulge on the end of the ARP studs. So again, shout out to Atlanta Speed Company for having these shipped out to me literally the next day. Like, I literally ordered like at 3 and they were there the next day. So shout out to Kevin and the guys at Atlanta Speed Co. Super fast, super easy, great to work with. I recommend him if you haven't already if you haven't already PM'd him, bro. If you're on Facebook, you know. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching and we'll see you on the next one. Later.